Hey, it's Rich Vision. I'm here to do another reading of my book, From Victim to Victor, Transforming Trauma into Triumph. So it is available on Amazon and also on my website as well. The links are both in the bio. So today I will be doing another reading from my book called Who Noticed. I'm picking like a random one. Every single day I'll talk about one. A poem in the book. This one is deep, and I will get into it, and then I'll do words. I'll do a brief overview of what inspired the poem, and also how I feel about it now versus back when I wrote it. Who noticed? Who noticed the scars on my arms without judgment? Who noticed the people who said I won't amount to nothing? Who noticed my broken smile? Who noticed when I didn't want to be around? Who noticed I secretly plotted my suicide? Who noticed the bags under my eyes? Who noticed my internal bleeding? Who noticed my internal bleeding? Who noticed my shallow breathing? Who noticed my tears behind dark shades? Who noticed my fears on stage? Who noticed I hadn't eaten a meal? Who noticed because I didn't want to feel? Who noticed I lost my voice? Who noticed I have a choice? Who noticed I drink to make the anguish fade? Who noticed my hidden rage? Who noticed my mind was on cruise control? Who noticed the cyberbully in my DMs? Who noticed the mask I played? The mask as I played pretend? Who noticed my heavy load? Who noticed my disposition? Who noticed my valiant efforts to make a difference? Who noticed when I'm self-abusive? Who noticed when my thoughts were intrusive? Who noticed when I was bold? Who noticed when I wanted to sell my soul? Who noticed the blade in my... Gosh. Okay. Let me run it back. Who noticed my disposition? Who noticed my valiant efforts to make a difference? Who noticed when I'm self-abusive? Who noticed my thoughts were intrusive? Who noticed when I was bold? Who noticed when I wanted to sell my soul? Who noticed the blade in my palms? Who noticed my attempts to stay calm? Who noticed that I'm 2 years from my last suicide attempt? Who noticed I don't live... Who noticed I don't live with regret? Who noticed the inner work I've done? Who noticed I no longer felt shunned? Who noticed the self-love I gave myself? Who noticed I prioritized my mental health? Who noticed I am still here for someone else? Who noticed when I didn't give up on myself? Who noticed the power in my hands? Who noticed I penned a new story? Don't you understand? Who noticed my inner peace radiate? Who noticed I said I'm not a mistake? Who noticed my biggest smile showing all my teeth? Who noticed the grace I showered on me? Who noticed that I don't recite death sentences? Who noticed mental abuse taught me an invaluable lesson? Who noticed that I saw myself as a blessing? Who noticed that I speak highly of me? Who noticed I fought for my legacy? Who noticed I am privileged? Who noticed those Zoom calls late at night? Who noticed the books that poured into my spirit? Who noticed I am not finished? Who noticed I no longer cry myself to sleep at night? Who noticed my dreams isn't tarnished in your hands? Who noticed suicidal was not God's master plan? Who noticed the people who surround me? Who noticed that strangers became my family? Who noticed I no longer hang my head low? Who noticed I am bold? Who noticed I walk in my power? Who noticed my strength is shower? Who noticed I step back into the scene? Who noticed his power within reach? Who noticed that I don't blame myself anymore? Who noticed that I believe I was meant for more? That was, oh Lord, that was vulnerable. That was very vulnerable for me, and I'm not, it's crazy in a sense how, I read my book once through, and I couldn't even get to the whole book in one sitting because it was just too much for me. It's like, yes, I love this, and it's like I know exactly what I went through, but it's very difficult to even sit with the fact that I dealt with it, and not even to, not even to like dwell in it, but just to say like, wow, I can't believe I went through this, but then also I can't, I'm very grateful that I was able to, get on the other side and really heal from a lot of those mental struggles, and really be intentional about that as well. This poem, Who Noticed, is about, me feeling like, I was hiding behind a mask and I was being fake, and for a while I lived life through post-it notes, especially during the pandemic when I was isolating myself. I thought, little post-it notes would answer for me, speak for me, and things like that, because I didn't know how to deal with the demons in my head of feeling unworthy to be here. And, I coped in ways I'm not proud of. And I even talk about it in the book about how I was able to notice all of these things, those mishaps, those mistakes, or more like lessons, and all those things that would have destroyed me. I'm now using it as a catalyst for healing, for other people. And the thing I noticed when I wrote this poem was the fact that my mind was all over the place. It was on figuring out an escape out of this world. It was it was allowing those intrusive thoughts to fester. I was, running around attempting to find validation from everyone but myself. I was here chasing that, and finding that in other people, and then I was drained dry. I ended up, you know, getting in a bad downward spiral where I was ruminating. I would be up all hours of the night attempting to outwork other people because I wanted to validate what someone said about me being lazy. So I wanted to, in the sense, convince him that I wasn't, but it was just like for what expense, like my mental health. And I was just downhill from there. I was tired, I was weary, I was exhausted, I was running myself dry. And I even write in the poem, I believe it's this one about how I was self-abusive during the pandemic. I was self-abusive to myself. There would be times where I would just pinch myself to stay awake, and so that I could seem like I was doing more than the other person. I even, I would slap myself while I was recording my music because I was always comparing myself to Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, and every time, I felt like I didn't do a take right or it didn't sound, as good, I would always, either rewrite the song, re-demo the song, like to the point where it was just like I didn't even know like how can I even put out a record? You know what I mean? Like it was impossible, and at that time to even, you know, turn around a demo without me having to turn around and do it 20 more times, because to me it wasn't perfect, and I realized by going to by doing this by adopting that mindset of like, that comparison mindset, so to speak, I didn't really feel like I was doing anything that was of value. So I ended up self-sabotaging my career, because of it. And there was times where self-harm was introduced to me. As far as, I started to experiment with things with self-harm, and I'm not proud of it. But it is a part of my story, and I'm even thinking about like the words that I'm writing, as far as like, sometimes it's hard for people to notice, my breakthroughs, because I don't talk about it so adamantly, so, and, I don't speak about it as often as I'd like, and I do have content about things that I've gone through, but for me, it's like, I have to validate, and I get to validate my experiences, and I get to be proud of the things that I've noticed of me, of what I've overcome, because I don't necessarily need someone to notice it. And then that's my breakthrough for today, is the fact that like I'm here, in this poem saying like, who noticed this and who noticed that, but then it's like, well, I noticed it. You know what I mean? Regardless of everybody else who noticed who may or may not have noticed that I was suicidal and have been going through some things like mental abuse behind the scenes that maybe people don't know about. However, I'm able to control the fact that I noticed that it happened because I lived it, and I also realized that, hey, I'm the person who was able to get myself out of it, by doing the inner work, and confiding in people and confiding in therapy and figuring out how to use some of the tools that I've been learning in personal development spaces to my advantage, and in motivational videos as well, to direct my thoughts a little bit more, so I become a little more positive, in regards to the way I see things and my future. And that's been such a hard thing for me, because I've felt like I lost my voice. Hey Prince, how you doing? Good to see you. I felt like I lost my voice for a long time, and I lost my voice because I didn't think my story was worthy of being told. So for a while, I let the demons in my head speak for me, and rather than me speaking for myself. And I also realized that like I I am the one who is able to control you know what I feel about my story, and I my desire is that someone is able to relate to this. For those who do watch this after, I just want to remind you that regardless of what struggles and hardships that you've gone through and faced, that you're not alone in your struggles, that you're seen, you're validated, you're heard, you're worthy for most, like, first, right, before all things, right, and then also you are an amazing person. Don't allow anyone to steal your worth, to steal your shine, or define your worth, or define your past and future, present, because they don't get to do that. And my desire is that this poem will inspire other people to notice what they've been through, but also have the courage to also say, I've been through this, but I'm also able to get the help I deserve. I'm also meant to do more better things that God has in store for me. And by changing the narrative, by holding the pen and not allowing other people to hold the pen for them. So that's my poetry reading for today. Keep it a little short and sweet. For my rehearsals. So, if you didn't buy the book, please purchase the book. It is available on Amazon, and it's right in back of me. From victim to victor, transforming trauma into triumph. Yes, it is on Amazon, and yes, it is on my website as well. If you order it from my website, you get the business card with the scan code to my empowering music. And you also get a custom bookmark with it saying I am victorious because my past does not define me, with the Rich Vision logo in the back. Please support the book. This book has been 3 years in the making, really. And it is the poetry book. However, it is a part of my biggest testimony of things that I've gone through. There is a lot of dark stuff in the book because I've been through some stuff. However, there is also some empowering things as well, because my life is both empowering and also dark. That is a life because life be lifing, and I honestly say, for me, my life has not been a straight line and a straight path. It's been curvy and it's been traumatic, but I also realized that that is life is unexpected. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that you have an amazing day, and thank you so much for your support.